Ukraine appears to have won the battle for its second biggest city, Kharkiv. That's according to the US think tank, the Institute for the Study of War. It says Russia has failed in its efforts to encircle the city and now appears to be focused on withdrawing its troops safely across the border. But Russian troops are intensifying their attacks in the Donbas region, which is now seeing some of the heaviest fighting, as Francis Reid reports.
Severodonetsk in the east of Ukraine. As a Russian armoured column tries to cross a river, Ukrainian artillery appears to have destroyed an entire battalion tactical group, including dozens of tanks and armoured personnel carriers. Ukrainian officials say this is the third attack in 3 days. But on the front line near Zaporizhzhia, the Russian assault continues to inflict heavy damage on family homes and people's lives. Shells just missed this house. Further east in Mariupol, satellite imagery shows the extent of Russia's relentless bombardment of the Azovstal steelworks. The last remaining Ukrainian fighters in this city have been here for weeks. Ukraine is still trying to get them out alive. In the Black Sea near Odessa, Russian forces continue to control the strategically important Snake Island, but they've been under attack from the air, with military equipment destroyed. Ukraine's defence minister said it's now preparing for a new, long phase of war, and it planned to arm 1 million fighters. It's as Ukraine's president claimed another 6 settlements in the Kharkiv region were restored to its control within the last day, vowing for the liberation of remaining towns and cities.
There is no other result for Russia, and there won't be. In fact, no one today can predict how long this war will last. But we are doing everything we can to liberate our land quickly. This is our priority, to work every day to make the war shorter.
But Ukraine is already seeking accountability. Its army has released 2 decks of cards showing Russians they suspect of war crimes. US forces produced something similar in its 2003 invasion of Iraq, when listing the most wanted members of Saddam Hussein's government. It comes as Ukraine starts its first war crimes trial in Kyiv. This, a 21-year-old Russian soldier appearing in the dock and accused of killing an unarmed civilian. Vadim Shishimarin faces life in prison if convicted. It's not clear how he was captured or what the nature of the evidence is against him. Russia has denied targeting civilians and made no comment on the trial. But war is still happening, and civilians near the front line continue to be forced underground. They remain defiant, and they want their home returned to them. Francis Reid, BBC News.
Our correspondent in Lviv, Joe Inwood, told us more about the battle for Kharkiv and its significance for the wider war.
Kharkiv is Ukraine's second city, and it's had the nickname in the past of a fortress city. And I think it's fair to say that over the last 70 days, it's earned that reputation. It seems the Ukrainian forces that have been defending it since pretty much the start of the war, under huge levels of bombardment, have successfully pushed the Russians back. They've been launching counter-offensives, we understand, over the last few days, and now this analysis from the Institute of the Study of War thinks that that has been so successful that the Russians have been pushed back to the border in some cases and have basically given up their attempts to encircle Kharkiv. Now, it's not a turning point in the war, I think, in the same way that the defeat for the Russians in the battle for Kyiv was, but I think it is a significant moment. And the reason for that could be that it will allow the Ukrainians to redeploy some troops, but also to start to threaten the supply lines that the Russians have, the supply lines that run down to places like Izium and into the Donbas, and because that is really now where the battle is going to be focused, the eastern region of Ukraine. If the Ukrainians can start to threaten those supply lines, bring more troops in, well, they can give themselves a key strategic advantage in what is going to be the battle for the future of this country.